Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it real about youth sports, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the Final Word.
Serious?
Yeah, I like him.
What up, folks?
What up?
We are back again.
The Fabulous Three.
Yep, we got two guys that took FMLA today. Andre is not here as well as Dave Lamont. They both
Was he here last week, Dre?
Nobody was.
Yeah, we took off last week.
Was he here the week before?
Dre was missing probably. I think.
We gotta change the. We just gotta take him off the picture, and he'll be a guest speaker from now on.
Is it streaming? Are we streaming live, Stokes? I don't see nothing. My bad. I lied.
Tyson locked him up.
I'm on my wrong page.
13 months, 3 years.
Yeah,
That's what they pay.
I gotta make it public.
You know what that is? University of Miami, Shane Larkin.
Oh wow, he looked crazy.
All right, so take us to our first video. We go jump right in. We go jump right in, man.
And I'm putting my teams in the cheapest tournaments we can find because they're all the same now. Pay to play, no barrier at entry. Anyone can do it. Everyone is doing it. Anyone can enter a tournament with any kids as long as you got a team. You're getting in. So we are not paying $2,500 for 4 tournaments. We are going to the cheapest shit they got around because it's all the same. That team that's in that C bracket that I was talking to, we're the same type of kids. Like, we just compete with them. Half the kids are in our program. We could just compete with them. We don't need to pay for $500 a tournament and go drive a long distance and stay in hotels. Why would we do that? We're playing the same type of people that we could just play right here.
Well,
So what do you think?
at one point I would say no. Like, that's some dumb stuff that he's saying. However, this weekend, I don't know if this was meant for me, but I'll take the lead. This weekend, I ran the Hoop Fest.
I put a little cheese out there for you.
Yeah. I'm nibbling. So this weekend, we had the Gasparilla Hoop Fest with 75 teams in it.
Right.
We were going to play in our own tournament. We should play in our own tournament. However, there was a couple teams that wanted to come, and in order for them to get in, I had to slide out. There was Made Hoops. Everybody talk about Made Hoops. I mean, there was people that played in our tournament like, oh, man, we should go to Made Hoops. So we went to Made Hoops. First game, we scored 110 points. We won 110 to 44. No running clock, which that was weird.
Yeah, you had to wear that ass whooping.
Right. And I felt bad for the other team because there were some nice kids. Coach was cool.
If you felt bad, then why'd you do it?
What am I supposed to just hold the ball?
Pass it 10
We
times.
was in the zone and everything. Then, so we won the championship game by 30. No disrespect to anybody, but they should have came to our tournament. It would have saved me money, gas money, and it would have saved them money because I know they didn't get the same deal we got. So it's like, I kind of agree with them, but a lot of people get hyped up off of the name of the tournament instead of the competition. Now, granted, like you and I talked about today, Joe, in other cities, in other states, it's probably more bigger competition. But I did hear there's some teams come from California down here. And then I think they ended up playing in a consolation bracket because in a tournament like what he's talking about, the big money tournaments, if you don't win your bracket or your pool, you don't play on Sunday. And if you do play on Sunday, you play one game called the consolation game. That's crazy. My opinion. It's crazy.
Chris, what do you think?
I'm so far removed, man.
Anti-travel man right there.
Man, look, it's not a thing of, I don't like travel. It's really not. I think the sad piece I have an issue with when You have so many people making up teams. Like, it's not what it should be, right? So if you don't make a team, what do? You make a team for somebody. And it waters down everything that you're talking about doing. Because travel basketball should be for everyone, right? But at least you should be able to get something out of it. Why are you playing travel basketball? Most people play because they want a competitive space.
Right.
Most people play because they want to get recruited. I'm just being honest. But when you start having these tournaments, like you're saying, and you allow certain teams to come into that space and it waters your tournament down, that's not fair to the other kids that are trying to be seen.
Well, not only that, a lot of people do too. Like, we played a team that a kid said, yeah, they called me last night to play. You know me. I don't like that. Like, I'm not finna add another kid on my team.
To go get a trophy.
To go get a trophy. And not for nothing, we just made hoops. Them jokers gave me a plastic trophy and no banner. No disrespect. But I like to play in tournaments because I like to see how we get better. But I'm different because my team has been together for a little while now. So I like that. Like, we finally, in my opinion, we're turning that corner. We're like, wow, we're getting attention in a sense. Like, these kids, but we also have fun playing it, but we're growing together. But you're right. I disagree with adding players just to go win this and win that.
Like, when do kids get a chance to get better?
I mean, during development.
When though?
Skill work through the week, practice.
But if you're practicing 3 times a week.
That's when you get better.
Right. But how many teams?
Not many.
Because you spend a whole high school year, because high school teams, same thing. Mm-hmm. If they're not intentional about these kids' skill development.
Or they can't be.
They can be. Here's how you run the same stuff all year round.
Right.
So why are we practicing on running the same stuff during the year? Unless you're adding something to it. Like, if you run the same offense, you're not changing. What's the need for you to run the same, like, to practice?
So in high school, your practices was more training?
I was all skill development. All skill. I need a kid to be able to finish. I need the kid to be able to dribble them down. We lost in Bartow that last year because we only had one person that could bring up the ball with confidence.
Yeah. And that same dude that tore y'all ass up
is in the Final Four.
In the Final Four.
But we were up the whole game.
Clayton.
Yeah, we were up the whole game until the last minute and 30 seconds. We were winning the whole game at Bartow.
I was at that game.
Me too.
But
that was a good crowd.
Once they took that one guard away,
yeah,
it was over.
You were missing somebody though?
No, Santia was in foul trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I think with what the dude was saying, I think you have to take a couple of things into consideration. There's certain factors that play into that. Like that guy that was talking, his team probably isn't very good. So, because if he's saying if the T and the C bracket is the same as his team, then I don't think it's
a difference.
Yeah, I don't think it's a one shoe fits all thing. Like that.
Hold on, Stoke. Is it buffering? What about y'all? Mine buffering.
Wait, Chris just sitting there on yours?
Yep.
Yeah.
Froze.
On this one.
Need to move over to T-Mobile.
I'm buffering.
He is T-Mobile.
Me too. I'm buffering too, though,
I'm T-Mobile too.
Yeah, I'm buffering. I got Chris on my screen right now.
Yeah. To your head,
I'm like this.
There you go. We moving.
You moving now? I'm still buffering.
Nope, I'm buffering.
But Chris' hand is up when he did that little
like
move.
this.
Yeah, dog. We having a good conversation.
This is YouTube straight.
Facebook, we buffering.
All right, we good. We're back.
I'm still buffering. What was I saying? Yeah, so I think that Florida Rebels team that played and made hoops this weekend, like they got nothing out of that. And
That's the 16U?
The 15s.
They were good.
But they only got a couple games. No, it wasn't 15.
The 2027s? The sophomores?
That's 16s.
Sophomores are 16.
16, yep.
Okay, yeah, so the 16.
We won the 15.
Okay, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were very good. So they actually wanted to play our 17s team. And I've never what people call duck and smoke or dodge a team or anything like that, but I declined that game because, and I know this is a little bit off topic on what dude was talking about, but I declined that game because if our 17s play the Rebels 16s. It's a lose-lose situation for us. If we beat them, oh, y'all beat up on our 16s, and y'all supposed to beat them. Y'all beat up on our 16s, play our 17s. You know, you'll have to hear all that. If they beat us, or y'all got beat by some 16s. If we win and it's a close game,
Y'all ain't that good.
Y'all ain't that good. Y'all barely beat some 16s. You know what I mean? It's just a lose-lose situation. So we got boys we trying to get in school. I don't need that negative press either way. So, you know, I declined the game. Not that, you know, we scared to play or anything like that, because it ain't like we're going into a gunfight. But right, it's not something that's beneficial for our boys. Now they're very good. They're capable of beating us. I mean, fully capable. Because they got a very good team, talented group of guys. But back to what I was saying with this guy. So that Rebels team has to go out and find some teams and find some guys and find some people to play for it to be beneficial, and that might not necessarily be around here, because that team has to go find other teams that have guys that are pulled from everywhere.
But they don't really. They don't have to go.
Hold
anywhere
up,
to
it's
find
buffering,
anything.
yo. It's buffering.
Yeah, people are commenting it's buffering a little bit.
Dominique says it's buffering.
Yeah, tell Dominique asked to call me. I know I left your ass a message, dog.
He didn't hear you. It's buffering. Come on, Stoke.
He don't believe us. He was going to check his phone for himself.
It's buffering.
So
you talking, but ain't nobody. Yeah.
So you know the cool thing about it. So I used to say all the time with the 7th grade team. Well, we weren't going out of state.
We losing people. Ain't nobody listening to you.
We're not going out of state. We weren't. I'm sorry. Until we weren't going out the area until we were the best team in the area. That makes no sense. I understand what he's saying. Why go out the area when you're not the best team in the area?
Right, and I can,
Right.
or a top 3 team in the
Yeah,
area.
when you need to go.
I didn't go out there until I was the best.
Yeah, I didn't either. And then no, you lying.
I've been the best on the 2nd grade, bitch.
So, and then they were like, let's go out of state. I was like, why are we going out of state? We can't even beat the Jokers in state.
Right,
What's the point? So it's a time and a place for everything. When your kids are capable of carrying that load, then you introduce them to it. But if they're not capable of carrying that load, there's no sense of introducing them to it. For what? You can take your ass whooping at home. I don't need to go to Atlanta or Tupelo, Mississippi to take no ass whooping. We can do it right here in Florida, right in Tampa.
All right, let's go with the next video. See what we got.
This is crazy. He was a little kid, and I'm like, hey man, you coming to Pike? Just joking around. He in 5th grade. He told me, man, I'm going to a prep school. And I was like, what? People don't understand. You gotta build yourself up. Your foundation gotta be where you from. Anybody that's gonna be a good player, I truly believe this, you gotta be good at making other people better. But if you go to a prep school where there's other great players and all this other stuff, you never gonna develop into the player you wanna be, because you always got a handicap.
Yeah.
Everybody else around me nice too.
Yeah.
They can make my job easier. The goal is to make your job harder. So when you get in them rooms with 5 stars and all that stuff,
Yeah.
when it become easier for you, you gonna shine like a diamond. Because I can do everything. You can put me in any position. I can rebound, I can score, I can shoot, I can do all that stuff, because I had to do that before. Because I was on a team where we didn't have all these talented people, so I had to overdo stuff just so our team could be competitive. People like to take the easy road or play on these super high, all these top 5 kids on their team on AAU teams, and they ain't really getting no better.
Y'all didn't hear none of that video.
I heard exactly what he said.
Chris playing solitaire.
No, man. I heard
trying to
everything he
figure
said. I heard everything he said.
I'm gonna pay Stokely $12.50 today.
So talk to me.
So, I agree.
Huh?
Nah, they
You know,
buffering, bitch.
So I agree with what he was saying. If you're not, why would you go to a team where you got 2 or 3 people in front of you that's gonna get all the burn? Seriously. When are you gonna have your development? When you gonna?
Somebody has to be a role player.
Yeah, I know, but what type of role player? When you can go, is it about reps? Is it about getting reps?
So I disagree with that, because, for instance, I got 9 players on my team. At any given point, I can start any 9,
Right.
and they all play even.
Right.
So
whoa. So that's not what he said. So
Run
imagine.
it again, Stokely.
Yeah, that's not what he said.
Run that
So you
video
go
again.
to a team and you got 5 legit. That's your core. And then you got the other ones that are just as capable, but you're not going to play them.
This is crazy. He was a little kid, and I'm like, hey man, you coming to Pike? Like just joking around. He like in 5th grade. He told me, man, I'm going to a prep school. And I was like, what? People don't understand. You gotta build yourself up. Like your foundation gotta be where you from. Anybody that's gonna be a good player, I truly believe this, you gotta be good at making other people better. But if you go to a prep school where there's other great players and all this other stuff, you never gonna develop into the player you wanna be because you always got a handicap.
Yeah.
Everybody else around me nice too.
Yeah.
They can make my job easier. The goal is to make your job harder. So when you get in them rooms with 5 stars and all that stuff,
Yeah.
when it become easier for you, you gonna shine like a diamond. Because I can do everything. You can put me in any position. I can rebound, I can score, I can shoot, I can do all that stuff because I had to do that before. Because I was on a team where we didn't have all these talented people, so I had to overdo stuff
Yeah.
just so our team could be competitive. People like to take the easy road or play on these super high, all these top 5 kids on their team on AAU teams, and they ain't really getting no better.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. Even in the high school situation, that's what he's talking about too. So a lot of people want to, oh man, that team's the best team, and you always say I want to play against the best team.
That's what it was. Like I wasn't going to play. If I didn't have to go to Southeast and I had to play against Cliff, I want that. Like I didn't want to go join nobody else to beat somebody else. I wanted to be the man.
But some coaches at AAU, they recruit all these other players not for them to play or get better.
So nobody else will have
So
them.
nobody else will have it, they don't have to play against them.
Do they really think that much into it?
Oh,
I really do think. I mean,
yes.
I told you about an example a couple of weeks ago. Like, yo, you wanted him so bad and he didn't even play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I agree with him, but it's you know, it's a double-edged sword because somebody has to play a role. I think it's the type of team that you go to, like for example, the kid from Polk County that we were just talking about in the green room. He can go play on any team he wants to 2027.
Yep.
28. He's 28?
28
He's a freshman?
freshman.
Okay, so he can play any team he wants to
Oh, 2027.
in 2027 still. You know what I mean? But he's that good. But I think what they're doing in Polk County with that team, what's the name of the team again?
Gaskins.
Tony Gaskins?
Tony Gaskins Elite or Gaskins Elite.
Yeah, so that Gaskins team, so they have him and they got the kid from
big boy.
Lake Gibson.
Yep.
They got both of them on the team. And then they got some guys, a bunch of guys that, you know, play their role good, because they're going to get exposure, they're going to get looks, they get to, you know what I mean, play free. But they're going to go on that Under Armour circuit, and those kids are going to be big fish in a small pond. Well, now you look at that Florida Rebels team. Now, let's say the same guy goes on that Florida Rebels team. He's just, he's going to have some highlights. He's going to stand out. It's going to be easy for him. But teams aren't going to be face guarding him. Teams aren't going to be playing boxing one on him and stuff like that. So he's not going to get that type of treatment and development. Now, fast forward, I speak from experience. So last year, when JoJo and the team went and played in Atlanta in the Tip-Off Classic, I didn't get a chance to go to that. But I heard it was one of the best tournaments he's played ever. But he was getting face guarded. He saw boxing one. He's never seen that stuff before. Like, his teammates was just coming from football, so they weren't fully in basketball mode. So he was frustrated, and he felt like he was carrying the team. When I talked to him on the phone, he was just super frustrated. And so he drove up with somebody to that. So I had Tasha book him a flight back, put him on the plane. He flew back. I went and picked him up from the airport by himself. And he got in the car and let his seat back, and he was, you know, on his phone, like he was frustrated. So I was like, what's up? He's like, man, I just got to do everything out there. I feel like I was doing this and that and the other. And I said, that's great. I said, if you wanted to be easy, you go play for the Florida Rebels, go play for the Knight Riders, and you can go out there and your job is to rebound, block shots, and play defense, and get the ball to some other guys so they can score the ball. Yeah. I said, if you wanted to be tough, if you wanted to be that guy, if you want to develop, you stay here and you deal with getting boxing ones and face guard, and then you learn how to deal with that. You know what I mean? And so when I said that, he understood, never had another problem out of him again. You know what I mean?
But that's the ultimate goal for these kids. Like, who can you make better?
Right.
Like, you can go out and score 30 points. That's fine. But who can you make better? You're gonna at some point in time, you're gonna need your teammates. Who can you make better? Who do you know get to their spots? You give them the ball. Who like that? That's how you define your greatness, even in life. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't go through life and you just like, yeah, I'm gonna make this money, make this money. Who you hanging with to spend it with? Who you get to enjoy this space with? If you want to define, I tell Tyson this all the time, how you define your greatness is by who you make better around you. That's how you define your greatness. Right. If you can't make nobody better, bro, you can't be great. I'm sorry, you're gonna be great, but you can't be, that's not greatness.
Correct.
You know, and so these kids have to understand how to make people better. And if they don't have the ball in their hand, they're not able to make good decisions, good choices. That's why the portal is looking the way it is. And you can say 20% of the portal is NIL for money, 20%. The rest is these jokers ain't getting no playing time because they just not good enough because they don't know how to make anybody better.
Right.
People been making them look good.
Mm-hmm.
You can take it to the younger version. You remember back in the day when we had our travel kids play in the league?
Yes.
And we separated them.
Right. Yes.
And I remember, I think they was probably in the fourth grade, I don't know, and I separated Junior on one team, Jaden on one team, Mike on one team, da-da-da.
Yep.
That season, TJ was actually Junior's coach. That season, I think Junior grew not only with confidence, but he had to make rec players better.
Yeah, he don't have Mike.
You
He
know
don't have Jaden over there.
He actually played with two girls, Brooklyn and Beth Daly, who's a standout player at Sickles now.
Yeah.
And they won the championship, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Beth Daly's daughter who hit the game winner, but it's
Sulphur
like
Springs against the Sulphur Springs.
against
I remember
Sulphur
that.
Springs when we got in that big old fight.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that is true, but a lot of kids don't want that.
Right.
They don't want that pressure. It's like when somebody says, man, I want to be a point guard. You want the title. You don't want that pressure.
You don't want it.
It's different.
So I remember getting put out of a game at the Villages. Mm-hmm. Got put out. I got escorted out because Tyson came down by one. He gets a shot at his spot and he passes it to the post. I remember he passed it to David Fletcher, and David missed the layup. And I went in on him. I said, "You take that shot.
Yep.
You take that
But
shot."
it was the right pass.
It was the right pass.
But-
and he came back to me and said, "You told me that I needed my guys, and when it's time for them to really step up, if they know I have confidence in them, they will step up." I made that pass because it was the right basketball pass.
But
And
I told Mike this yesterday.
You're right.
Mike drove the lane, wide open layup, and tried to drop a pass, and he turned it over. I'm like, yo, what you doing? He said, man, I thought I saw him right there. And I'm like, bro, but you got a layup. Being unselfish sometimes is being selfish. Being unselfish, you're selfish to your team. So, you know, it's a difference in that too, but you got to make the right play.
You got to be able to, and these kids don't, these kids are going to join forces. So when do they get to handle the ball? If you're a true point guard and you go somewhere and you got 2 point guards in front of you, you think you're going to get to pat that thing?
Right.
I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. Who was your point guard this year at Blake? Who was your dominant ball handler?
MJ played the point.
Who was your dominant ball handler? Who had the ball in their hand?
JoJo and Joshua mostly.
Thank you very much. And everybody went to join them? You had 2 point guards go to join them, right? Mm-hmm. So did the point guards get to handle the ball?
Not necessarily. No, not much.
And that's a successful year for them? There was no growth. They're still the same player. Who were they making better? They could have stayed at their own school and did that. So it's like you're going to win.
But it's a hard decision to make. Like what you just said just now. Do you go to win? So what's more important? The winning, the development, or the limelight? Because those are the three options.
I think it's development based on where you want to go.
Yeah.
If with different structure, I think they get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
With different structure.
So I
think they accomplished what they was looking for.
take my team for example right now. Jaden Martin, gonna be a point guard in college. Right now he's a scoring guard. Right now he comes off the bench. He doesn't come off the bench normally. He's a starter. But for the team right now, he brings firepower out. But there's some times that I be like, yo, you start this year. And I had even had a conversation with him. I'm like, bro, there's no starters or there's no how you call it? Role players. Like everybody's a role player. Everybody do their part.
You here for a reason.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there was Randy
Watson?
Chicago Bulls. Randy Brown.
Brown.
Randy Brown was a better player, in my opinion, than John Paxson. John Paxson was a better player for that team.
Randy Brown was a better defender.
That's it. That's all. That's the only thing he
Better
did
defender.
But he
Offensively,
but John Paxson was not a point guard.
he was a shooter.
Correct. Who handled the ball better? Randy Brown.
Right.
But in that offense, Paxson was the better
B.J.
player.
Armstrong handled more than Randy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but those are two different eras.
Randy played in two.
Those two
right?
different eras.
They didn't play together?
I don't think so. They
Paxson
always
and B.J.
kept the white boy. It was either Paxson or
Steve
Kerr.
Well, Kerr came after.
Right, so I think
Paxson.
Kerr was with Brown, BJ was with Paxson,
Yeah, there you go.
something like that.
Yeah.
But let's be real. The better, more athletic player was the brothers.
Ron Harper came.
Right.
Harper.
But what
he
I'm
was
saying
at
is
the
it
end
was
of
a
his-
better fit for their offense when you got that shooter.
Right.
I'll give you one better than that. What's the kid's name that played with the Heat?
Duncan Robinson.
No, when LeBron and D. Wade was there.
Mike Miller.
Point guard,
Jason Williams. Mario Chalmers.
Mario Chalmers.
Yep.
Once he got traded, what happened to him,
Nothing.
right? He never had a chance to develop into that space because he didn't have the ball in his hand.
Right.
D.
I see
Wade
what
had
you're
the
saying.
ball in his hand.
I see what you're saying.
LeBron had the ball in the hand. Shit, Bosh brought the ball up like.
But that's
he
why.
never.
But is that good or bad? Because
It's horrible.
No, what I'm saying is we talk about positionless basketball. So we preach. If you get the rebound and you can go, let's go.
That's fine.
Now to get you in the offense is different.
When you look at Denver, Jokic bring the ball up.
Right.
On JoJo's travel ball team, he bring it up sometimes, but Brookins bring it up.
JT.
Like JT bring it up. You know what I mean? Which JT don't care about bringing it up either. He'll throw it to Brookins. So
Does that hurt JT in the long run?
Nah, because he can switch it up. You know what I'm saying?
But
then when he's
based
with his
on-
high school team, he's the primary. He only has the ball in his
Yeah.
hand. So that's when he gets to play off the
Yeah,
ball.
but so his high school team is not going to play the schedule that they're playing travel-wise.
No, but he gets face guarded. He gets boxing one, triangle two.
And so
He gets
me
all
as a
of that.
college coach, if I'm scouting him, I want to see him handle that basketball and that pressure. I want to see him be able to get open and get that ball because at the next level he's going to have to.
Yeah, no, he does. He does on the travel scene.
You know,
I'm just saying he don't care about doing it.
Yeah.
He'll freely give it up.
Yeah,
But
so-
right now he was just, he didn't play well this weekend because that was his first game. But he hadn't done anything since early February. He had a
been
leg,
hurt.
He had a leg injury and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think these kids, they even joining forces with these high schools, like transferring. You know, when do you have a chance to like work on you? Like you gotta college.
Let me ask y'all this, and I don't know if Joe ever seen this video. Somebody said, "What is the biggest issue with travel ball?" And the coach
The
said,
parents.
"No, playing with your friends."
Playing with your friends? Why is that?
That's what I didn't get that.
Oh no, I don't understand that
Who was
one.
the coach?
It was two ladies. It was
Yeah,
in
they
a,
just.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
but it was a college coach, and I'm like, nah, cause
Yeah, I
like
don't
that
understand.
version. You play better.
Well, if you know them, and then also, you know, because I was big on that. I was like, you know, you go out of town, like
Right.
if my kids have a birthday, they can hang out.
Right.
They want to go to the movies together, they can hang
Right.
out. They know each other, they understand. The best teams that look at the Olympics. Look
Right.
at Europe.
Right.
They've been playing together since they were 8 years old. And
Listen,
you're like,
you
how are they so good? Well, they've been playing together forever. They're
You
friends.
I know you don't like watching youth basketball anymore, but you would have really liked the way my kids was playing and the way they was acting. I'm talking about having fun. Before the game, they together. After the game, they together. Like, you know, it's a different vibe when you like the cat that you in war with. You know what I mean?
I agree, and I think that's why Paris is so successful.
Right.
They've been together.
They hang out together, yeah.
Them dudes have fun. Like, they're silly. Like,
Listen,
that's what they do.
The kid one of my high flyers, Jamarcus. Last year he was tentative on a lot of stuff. I don't know if you recall when he first started. Now, bro, he's one of the dudes like having fun out there, being comfortable, just filling the lane, shooting the jumper, everything. And it's because they talk on the phone all the time. They go to Busch Gardens all the time. They, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think people get it twisted. Y'all get it twisted. I don't dislike youth
You just
basketball.
angry.
No, it's not that. You asking, it's like a kid asking and saying, I want to go to Harvard, I want to go to Harvard, but they giving me bullshit ass responses in the classroom. They're not working hard, they're not pushing themselves, but they want to go to Harvard. They're giving me a C effort, and they want to go to Harvard. So, like, it's not realistic based
Because
on their
of
work ethic. Right? Based on the choices and the decisions. Half of these damn kids don't even watch college basketball. So how is it that you want to play college basketball, but you damn don't watch it? That is the dumbest thing in the world to me.
And in March, you should be watching because there's some good ass basketball going on right now.
It's the best time of the year right now.
Yeah.
Even if you want to watch the NBA for entertainment, NBA right now is in a playoff race, and so these dudes are getting serious. This is the best basketball
they're
player.
fighting Detroit bad boy.
This is the best basketball time of the year. Yeah. April and May is March, April, May is the best basketball.
Put that drink
time.
away from his
No, I'm just saying it really is.
So I think now they get to watch the. As soon as the game is over, they get to watch the full game highlights. It cuts out the timeouts.
Right.
This is this is just real quick. They can watch a whole game in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So I think they just watch that. I don't know.
How many kids didn't see that kid from Bartow take over the last 3 minutes of the game?
My kid didn't.
Look, bro.
A video game.
How many kids didn't see Emmanuel Sharp the last 2 minutes of the game go into lock and load?
He hit three threes in 3 minutes, something like that?
In less than 3 minutes, probably in 30 seconds, bro.
I didn't even see that one.
Bro, like you cannot, on the women's side.
Or Friday night in that inbounds play.
Oh, man, come on, man.
But, did you?
Yes, I did.
As a kid?
Yes.
Now, I do remember growing up.
I watched pro.
I watched college.
What I do remember is, in my house, Sunday, 3 p.m., you would watch NBA on NBC.
Oh, no, it started at 12, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And you would watch.
Then it started at 3.
You know what I'm saying? So
then it went at 6:30.
Yeah.
Believe me.
All day Sunday, we'd be right
We
there.
was watching the replay.
Yeah.
Replay
and then on Saturday, you watch Amar Rashad go through. Like, that's.
Yep.
But in college, high school, I watched Big Monday. We watched Tuesday. We knew who was playing. Big East played on Monday. ACC played on Tuesday. And we used to sit in front of the TV as a team in the same apartment. Everybody had their apartment. We go to one apartment and we watch it as a team.
Yeah.
We used to lay around and watch it.
Man, stop.
Because the guys from Horace from Chicago, him and Antoine Walker was on the same travel ball team. So he said, man, my boy Antoine, man, this and that. And when he first got to Kentucky, he wasn't playing. And so we messed with him, your boy sorry as hell. You know what I mean? But then by the end of the year, he had a big tournament. I told y'all about my boy, So, And then that next year with Albert White, Tractor Trailer, Mo Taylor, all them, they was telling us about, man, it's these juniors, man, on the high school team, because Miles that played with us, him and Albert White was high school teammates. And he was saying, Tyrese was like, he had to guard Robert Trailer. He said, man, this man like 6'9", like 320. And he just dunked everything. We like, bro, yeah, right.
You lying,
what I mean?
you
Like,
lying.
we didn't see that around. He like, yeah, right.
Right.
And so Miles is a little bigger than Tyrese. So I said, well, Miles, why you wasn't guarding? He was like, I had to guard the other one. He was talking about Mo Taylor.
Mo Taylor.
You know what I mean? And so we didn't believe him, like, because, it wasn't no internet, wasn't no Instagram, and, where we could see these guys. Then the McDonald's All-American game came, all them guys was on the McDonald's game, and he was like, I told you. And,
Yeah.
Man, like
but it's a different time.
But we watched it. I
sure.
watched it. We knew who they were.
No, I agree.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that was how you got better.
Video 3.
Glorified JUCO. This is like Norfolk State Community College, because it's like when I say that, not because of the people or things like that, but it's just the way it is. JUCO coaches, I have so much more respect for them these days, because they have to get a new team every year or every 2 years or something like that, right? Now we got to get a new team every year, every 2. So we basically a glorified JUCO, because these kids, until mid-majors, and not just Norfolk State, until mid-majors get the money that high majors have, we're never going to be able to keep kids here, for a long time. I say it's easy to get them, it's harder to retain them. You can get them because there's a lot of kids that want opportunities. A lot of kids want opportunities, but once they get the opportunity and then they blow up, it's harder to retain them because now the big boys are going to come.
So how crazy is that nowadays?
It's nuts. It's nuts.
It started with the D2s.
Yeah.
They was using the D2s like
As the-
JUCOs,
yep.
and they was snatched. They grab a guy from a D2. Now it's kind of translated until the
Low majors, mid-majors.
Yeah. And God bless the dead, Coach Amir. He posted when he lost Pryor, went to Louisville. Youngblood went to Alabama, and Miguel went to Maryland. His 3 top guys. And he put a post up on Twitter, and he said, you Power Fives need to get on top of y'all craft, and guys y'all missed in the recruitment because basically because you let these guys slip through the cracks, and then you want to come and snatch our guys.
Look at the kid from Alabama, the big white kid was at North Dakota State.
Right. Yeah.
He was?
That's where he came from.
The shooter?
No, the big Grant,
No, I'm talking
number
about the shooter.
4, from Alabama, the tall white kid.
The shooter.
Yeah, big boy, about 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, the shooter.
North Dakota State.
Did not know that.
He was there for 2 years.
The Youngbloods from USF. Shoot, Sears is from Auburn. He was at Auburn.
So look at Janai Brooms.
Yeah, Janai Brooms at Moorhead.
Yeah, I mean, look, all these people now talking about, even Tampa, Cali, Boy, stop.
Max.
None of y'all even talked about that joker when he was around here at Plant City. Now, all of a sudden, he shooting for the Player of the Year, and
Hey,
everybody
look.
representing him.
Yeah.
Shout
Hey,
out to
listen.
him, though. He balling.
I ain't gonna say who I had a conversation with, but when I found out that kid was going there, I had a chance to work him out.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And
I know you had
told
a
him-
conversation with.
And I told him, I said, that's your best player. No, man, he won't even be our 4th option.
Shit.
I said, shit.
Now look at him.
Listen, like this is,
Now he's slapping Freeman's hand off of him. You saw that?
listen, like Max Jones,
Right, another one.
UT, Cal State Fullerton, Kansas State.
Yep. And he's about to jump in again, right?
Max is just, this it.
He's staying.
No, it's it.
You got no more?
He a COVID. He
Oh,
did
he's
2
a COVID.
years.
He's a COVID, okay.
2 years now.
But he had that JUCO year, I thought.
No, he never went JUCO. He went Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, I got you.
Went Tampa. Now, he may have a redshirt year. He may be able to get a redshirt year.
Yeah, because he was right after the COVID year.
He was right.
Who does-
He came
who
out
does-
in
who does-
2020.
Who Auburn play?
Auburn plays Florida.
Yeah, they're going to beat up on each other. You got the SEC. beat
Florida
up.
big.
Yeah, Florida guards are just fun to watch.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
good
but,
though.
but that's the whole thing. He ain't lying. A coach told me that they have to turn around and recruit their own players.
Yep.
I said, well, I asked him, I said, well, what you looking for? He said, I don't know yet. We got to work on ours first, and then we go into the portal. I said, you got to work. He said, yeah, we don't know who's leaving. Who we
That's the
gotta
only
look.
thing I like about the transfer joint.
I meant to talk about this. So the tide is kind of turning because one of my college teammates, his son is playing at a Power 5 school, and he was telling me that the coaches was having the meetings with the kids, and they was straight up saying, put your name in the transfer portal because we no longer need your services. So it ain't just one-sided with these kids leaving.
Yeah.
They're telling you to go.
The coaches are pulling the kids in, telling them we're not bringing you back next year. Like they doing that right now, and I know that this school is keeping 4, and they getting rid of guys. And he was saying like all them guys that was showing attitude when they weren't playing and talking back and this and that, getting rid of all of them. And I told I said, man, I'm gonna have to put you on the phone with Jojo and let you have a talk with him to let you know what I mean, because like. So it ain't the transfer portal thing ain't just one-sided. I know a lot of these coaches is playing victim.
Right.
But after hearing that, see, and they playing victim for their top guys.
So now it's
but check it
not.
out. You send your kid to school on a scholarship. He getting his NIL money. He probably needs some development, but he ain't all the way there yet. Them coaches is getting rid of them. They're getting rid of them guys. But see, nobody talks about that. All they talk about is the coaches saying, woe is me, I got to recruit my own kids and this and that other. But they getting rid of them kids too, and making them jump in the
So there's not a four-year scholarship.
No, it is not.
It's a year to year.
It's a year-to-year thing.
You know, and I'm okay with that because coaches were like that before. So I'm okay with the kids saying they want to go somewhere else.
Right.
Because coaches used to get rid of cats. They just X your scholarship.
But when did that change?
It hasn't.
It's always been year to year?
Yeah. Now,
Every year you have to sign a scholarship.
Yeah, but they can take it away like they're doing now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought if you sign a letter of intent, you sign a letter of intent for 4 years
No.
when we was
Every
in
year
school.
you had to sign.
Unless-
Every year I went to
I mean,
sign.
you had to re-sign,
Unless-
but it was on
unless
you.
Unless you get it in writing, because and again, I'm gonna speak from experience.
Most coaches honored it though.
Yeah.
Right.
When I messed up and had to go to St. Leo, Ted Owens came, and he's the one that got me to sign that. And my dad, probably the best thing he did, but my dad was like, well, even because Bobby Pascal was recruiting me at USF, and he was the first one to present this to us. He said if Joe comes to USF, if he's not in a position to graduate in 4 years, we will give him an extra year to graduate on scholarship, full scholarship. Guaranteed that to put it in right. You know what I mean? So so now it's time for like Alabama and all of them. Like that was a standard for my dad. Like if he's not gonna graduate in that last year, will he get another year?
Right.
So when St. Leo came to recruit us with Ted Owens, and I was coming out of JUCO, my dad was like, okay, so if he don't graduate in 2 years, can he get that 3rd year on scholarship? He said if USF, Alabama, and UCF was willing to do this, y'all got to give us the same thing. And Ted Owens agreed, and my dad got that in writing. So now, fast forward, they hired Coach Hanks. We didn't have the best relationship, you know what I mean? So I did my 2 years, and I was on academic. I pretty much had flunked out, right? So
that's why we.
I had to go to summer school to be able to come back. And they tried to keep me out of school because I remember one of the games where I think Hanks was talking about I want to go graduate because I ain't gonna have enough credits to graduate that year. And I'm being, the jerk that I was at the time. I had it up to here with him. And I said, I'm looking at my team, and I said, man, he can say whatever he wants to. I signed a 3-year deal with Ted Owens. Ain't nothing he can do. I'm saying that to my boy. And so he went and checked. And so then he came and practiced the next day. Now, we got a great relationship now. He probably watching. So he came back and he said, yeah, you got your 3 years, but it ain't gonna be no free ride. You're gonna be working. You're gonna be a grad assistant, and you're gonna have responsibilities. And I said, that's fine, but I'm gonna be here with my, you know what I mean? But that's the kind of relationship we had. But my dad did that, you know what I mean? And I had to go to summer school and I almost flunked out. And it's crazy. I know this off topic and I'm going along. I'm a storyteller. But you went to St. Leo. You know, the phones we had, the voicemail holds 14 messages. Once the message reaches 14, it'll say this mailbox is full. So we used to come home and we used to go hoop at HCC on Tuesday and Thursday. And I had this paper to write, and I didn't go to the hoop. And everybody, the whole city used to be there, bro. It's Desmond, Allison, Sid Powell, all of them, they was getting ready to come out. They would all be there, their crew. the boys from Tech with Broxy, all them, and James Harper, everybody, whoever, the USF boys, the St. Leo boys, the UT boys, we would all meet at HCC and we would get it in. You know what I mean? So I had to miss this hoop because I had to stay home and write this paper. So I wrote my paper for, it was a religion class, and I submitted it. When my grade come out, I get an incomplete, right? So, and my sister watching right now, so it's funny because I see her name. So I get an incomplete, so I'm like, damn, I done flunked out. Like, this 3 years I'm talking about, this shit gone. That's the only way I can't go back. And so I'm calling Father Tony to try to, you know what I mean? And this is a father, bro, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm calling this man to try to see why I flunked out, bro. I purposely called this man more than 14 times myself. That mailbox never said it was full. So God bless the dead, Kurt Van Wilt, man. He had his wife call. His wife worked in the financial aid office. She called, had my teammate Austin Ojukwu. He called me. Remember Austin?
England. He
called me because he had a job in the financial aid office. He called me and was like, "Hey man, Miss Van Wilt said, she need to talk to you real quick." So I get on the phone with her and she said, "Joe, they're trying to get you out of school." He said, "But this is what you can do. You got to go over all of them." This lady told me this, bro, and she said, "You got to write a letter saying X, Y, Z, and this and that to get back in school and all this stuff." And then she told me everything I got to do. So I hung the phone up with her, man. And I was just finna take this L, man. I'm just gonna flunk out, man. I ain't finna write a letter. I'm gonna write to these, like, all this stuff she said. So I told my sister Melinda what she told me, and she's like, "I'll write the letter." And my sister wrote the letter and sent it. And then in the mail, I got a letter in the mail that day. I opened it up, and they said I was reinstated back into school, but I was gonna be on academic probation. I was gonna be on academic probation. So as soon as I get the letter, my phone rings, answer the phone, Father Tony. "Hey Joe, how you doing? I was out of the country. I got your messages." And I said, whatever, man. I said, "I called your phone more than 14 times. I know you was checking the messages." But no, I was out of the country. I just got your messages today. He said, "What's going on?" I said, "I'm just trying to figure out like why I got an incomplete on my grade." He said, "Well, I feel like you didn't write that paper." And I'm like, "Man, I don't miss the hoop for this paper. Like, I had perfect attendance at the hoop." I was like, "So was it that good or that bad?" But he's like, "Yeah, just write another one and we can." I was like, "No, I'm straight, man. I'll see you at school." Hung up in his face.
You hung up on the father?
Yeah.
Going ahead.
No, I ain't. I seen Father Tony drinking a beer in Blue Mass.
Oh,
Joe Fallon,
I definitely,
snitch.
no, I saw the same Father Tony. I was blown
Catholic,
away.
right? Catholic.
Right, but see, I'm Baptist.
That blew me away.
Preach it on drink. In our
Bro.
church.
Catholic dude.
I saw him joking. I saw him walking around with a Heineken.
Reverend Washington didn't drink. That's taboo where I grew up.
Hey, look.
We was in Brewmasters. Father Tony got a picture, bro, pouring it. And I was like, "Hey, man, Father Tony got a goddamn beer over there." And my Australian teammates told me, "So what?" I'm like, "Bro, he's a guy. He's a father. He's supposed to be drinking." He said, "Joe, shut the fuck up. Yes, you can." You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, that blew me away.
That's a culture shock.
When I first got there, that blew me away.
Yep.
But the same thing you did, it got me put off. It got me kicked out of school my sophomore year.
So you got
That's how I
kicked out
lost
of St. Leo?
No, I got kicked out of JUCO.
I'm dealing with some flunkies in here,
Same thing
y'all.
you doing, running your mouth.
Oh yeah, I definitely was running my mouth. But my dad had it in writing.
12 games into the season, Coach Smithson put me off the team.
He could have put me out.
And VCU took my scholarship. I signed early to go to VCU. That's how I ended up at Texas Christian. I signed with VCU. I was going to play for Sonny Smith. But me running my mouth, saying something crazy.
Yeah, but he was talking crazy too, though, man.
Yeah, I know.
I just had it up to here at that point, but we got a great relationship now. But as a player coach, it wasn't good. My bad. I know I went long and got off.
You see what E. Hayes said? I still have my 1-year scholarship papers until this day. It ain't never been 4 years. It's 1 year. Every year you re-up.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. Every year you go in the office, and then that's how you learn your fate. Because some coaches won't bring you back.
Right. Well, another thing Hanks did too, which I thought was a-hole move, he had all of us, it was after my first year there, we didn't have a great season. Sean Wilson was ineligible. Dave Rivera quit at Christmas time. I broke my foot. So
you just had Jeanette by herself.
Jeanette was
senior
by herself
year.
his senior year, but he had benched Jeanette. And
Jeanette was player like freshman of the year.
Jeanette averaged 16 points as a freshman.
I was there.
22
I
as a
played with
sophomore.
him.
He was nice, bro. 22 as a sophomore. Then Sean Wilson came, who was phenomenal. Sean Wilson was committed.
Sean Jeanette was tough.
Yeah,
boy.
Sean Wilson had committed to Ohio State and came there. So since Sean Wilson averaged 18.
And he came from Pasco.
Correct, from Pasco.
I
He was a
remember.
JUCO product.
Yeah.
That's my guy. I talked to him the other day. So he had, Wilson averaged 18, Jeanette averaged 16. So now Wilson going into his senior year was ineligible, so he had to sit out that year. So they brought me in, and I'm like, Jeanette, this dude was nice, bro. Like I was like,
Jeanette
bro,
was
this your
tough.
team?
Lefty, 6'5" from a Popka.
Bro, I'm like, this your team? I back you up. What's what
Jump.
you need? So Jeanette was in the weight room in the summer. He stayed in school in the summertime, and he got caught with something. He left it in the weight room.
I already know.
Left it in the weight room, right?
Popka,
Coach Cobb went in there and found it, and you know what I mean. So, but he didn't get kicked out of school or whatever. You know, he kind of swept it under the rug. But when Coach Hanks came, they told him, and he was just against Coach. So that man senior year, he benched that dude, bro. Jeanette did not see the court, bro. He's our best player. He's better than me. He was better. You know what I mean? Him and Sean Wilson was better than him, but Jeanette was better than me. You know what I mean? And
lefty, God, so smooth, athletic. God.
So until I broke my foot, Dave quit, and Wilson was ineligible. Then he had to start. He played Jeanette at the end, but he was like, I'm gonna develop these younger guys. His senior year. So this man never went and played pro ball, bro.
He was a pro.
He would have been the St. Leo all-time leading scorer, bro.
Yeah, he was a pro.
Killed his confidence, took all that from him.
He
bro.
played with me and Joey. I was only there a year, but I was suspended half of the year.
Yep. And I never forget.
I stayed suspended.
Me, Dave Rivera, and Sean Jeanette, we was riding the Club Atlanta, bro, in Showbiz's prison. It was a little small car, and we ride, and we was just like having a heart-to-heart, man. And I was like, man. And I think I started off. I said, the only reason I ain't quit this shit, man, because I don't want to disappoint my parents again, bro. I said I did it out of high school. I said I did it out of JUCO, messed up again, and I said the least I can do, man, is just graduate for them. You know what I mean? And then Dave said the same thing, man. I'm just trying to be the first in my family to graduate from college.
For sure.
I ain't trying to, I don't want to disappoint my parents again. And then Jeanette was like, man, every time that man started messing with him, my mama gave me the scripture to read, and then he said the scripture out loud, and he said, that's what keeps me here. And then Dave got into a back and forth with him after Christmas break and quit. And, I broke my foot, so I ain't have to, really deal with him. And Jeanette, he just screwed him over, man. But I say all that to say this. It's important to the coach that you pick when you send your kid off to school. Like, it's very important.
It
you know
is.
what I mean?
But for me, I was an asshole too, though. So I was a lot of my problems. That was on me.
See, I wasn't, man.
I was I was a hothead.
Damn, it's 8:44? All right, next.
Yeah,
y'all got me telling stories, man.
Seriously, I was a hothead.
You know what's really funny about the whole situation? Everybody talks about
daily
is you
brother.
above criticism. Like, no one's above criticism. You just got to criticize everybody. 1 through 60. With Bronny James right now, I know this is a fun fact that nobody knows. Out of last year's draft and this year's draft, he has more points than 29 players. And no one's criticized them for starting off a little rough. So yeah, it's only because he's famous. It's just one of those things, man, where it's like a code of young players. You actually try to let them develop. If you notice, we don't talk about last year's draft. None of those guys are on our radar to bash their talent. 2023 draft, we haven't attacked any of those guys. Usually it's like 4 drafts. Your 4th year is when we really okay, it's been 4 years now. What's up? To start depicting his game this early in his career is just some weirdo shit.
You are a weirdo, John Arroyo.
No, first of all, I never said the kid couldn't play. First of all,
He's from Carver
Gilbert
City.
Arenas
He from Carver City.
he ain't from Carver City.
Yes, he is.
His dad, he's not from here.
He is.
He's military. He was here for a few years. Get the fuck out of here. I'm more
There's a
Tampa
bunch
than
of
him.
arenas. There's a bunch of arenas.
His
over
family might be. He's not.
He lived in West Tampa. That's
For
all
how
I know.
long?
For some years until he was like 11.
No.
Yeah,
No.
then he left.
Was
He's
he
like
born
11
here?
years
He was born
old.
here?
I was under
His daddy
I
was
was under the impression
military.
that he was born here.
All
His
I'm
people
saying,
from
his
conversation.
people.
That's like saying I went to Robinson.
You feel
for
me?
1 month.
No,
No, that's different, bro.
no, bro. All I'm saying is he's the weirdo.
I was born in
Because
Sarasota,
if
but
y'all
I'm from
believe anything
Taliban.
Gilbert Arenas say, he just do it for the show. That's all he do. Nobody say everybody ain't got no game.
Where was Gilbert Arenas born? What did I say?
How long did he live here?
Where was
Boy,
he born?
stop playing. Now you
Tampa,
just said,
Florida.
where was he born?
Tampa, Florida. He moved from here when he was like 11.
Where was John
Gilbert
Arroyo
Arenas grew up
born?
right there in West Tampa, bro.
Yeah.
Ask your motherfucker.
So, and here-
what's his name?
Check this out.
Weezer.
Weezer.
How long did
But
he stay in
listen,
Tampa,
He was
Florida?
living till he was like 11 years old.
So here's the reason why I
he
understand.
just never played high school
So
basketball.
Leroy Selman's right
So he's
on the
not
corner.
from here.
He was born and
All right,
raised here
stop.
until
Where
he
am
was
I
like
from?
11.
Where am I from?
You from Germany?
No, that.
You German.
Jackass.
Nah, he from, what's the other one next to
Stokely
Germany?
from the Philippines.
Yeah, he's
See?
Filipino.
See, now they being racist,
Yeah,
though.
Amarillo.
No, where
They
you
being
from,
racist,
Stokely?
though.
Born and raised in the Philippines.
Speak that shit right now. Say, give me some of that Namwang Yang stuff. That's what
Patois.
you said.
Patois. Patois.
No, it's not patois.
What is it?
It is not
Say
patois.
something.
What's your language?
Nagsasalita ako ng Tagalog.
Say Gilbert Arenas is from Tampa.
Hindi taga Tampa si Gilbert Arenas.
What
That
is
is
that
not
called?
patois.
What is that language
Patois
called?
is like a
Tagalog.
French.
Tagalog, that's what I meant. Same
Tagalog.
shit.
Hell, you
Same
patois.
shit. They all
All right,
like
You
that.
from Netherlands.
I said we was gonna get out of here in an hour. I only have
He
4
from the
videos.
Netherlands, man.
But do we need to go to? Let's go to the
But
top
guess
three.
where he
E. Hayes, how long did he
What's
live
up?
here?
Guess what he claims? He claimed Oklahoma.
Who?
You!
Oh yeah, I'm so right.
He claimed Lawton.
Right.
I meant to play this when I was
Straight out
talking.
from the
I know you two claimed Lawton, Oklahoma. But
All
your
day,
ass
He
every
ain't from
day.
Lawton.
You was
He
from
from
Germany.
Netherlands. He from the Netherlands.
You ain't claimed Lawton. So this is look at this.
And he's Amarillo.
This might be the best live alley you've ever seen. This is the kid from Polk County.
He's a freshman.
That's cool. That man is on the Under Armour. I meant to say this earlier. That might be the best alley you've ever seen. That's a game. That was a game dunk, bro.
Yeah.
And it
Where
wasn't
does he
even-
play
it
high
wasn't-
school?
Victory.
Victory! In my Johnny Bravo
Lakeland?
voice, that went over most of y'all's head.
In Lakeland?
Yeah.
Man, he played with
He a bad boy.
Darner? What did Darner play?
No,
that's-
no,
that's
no,
Santa
no.
Fe.
That's Santa Fe.
Oh, Santa Fe.
Now,
I like
I
how
love,
y'all
I
just
love what Polk
bypass
County's
it.
doing, and I like how they built that team. They can do the same thing with their freshmen. They can do
So
with
are
their
they going to
freshmen.
stay together?
I think they should because they once they get on the Under Armour circuit, bro, they big fish in the small pond. All eyes are gonna be on them. They got the ball in their hands. All them coaches gonna be watching.
So they're going to be Under Armour this year?
Yeah, Under Armour, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a perfect thing.
Are they going to be a sponsored team or are they on the same level?
I really don't know, but I think the dude that's running the team got that bag. I mean, I don't know the demographics
got
of
that
that, but I
bag.
know they're gonna be taken care of.
got that
I know he got a bag. but it's a good situation. I was talking to Brandon, and he was like that's what they're trying to do that in Polk County. Now I think with their freshmen, if they get the kid from Santa Fe and who was it? The kid from Santa Fe and Dwayne Bacon's brother.
They
I know
got
he's
two
playing
kids
with,
from
I know he's
Santa
playing with SOH, but Dwayne Bacon on the Under Armour circuit. But if they get them two, they can kind of mirror what they're doing with this
He's not
team.
playing with us,
That's what
I didn't see him at Hoop Exchange.
that's what somebody posted when I was on the Polk podcast the other day. But they can do the same thing with that group, and you know what I mean, and keep it going. Like, you know what I mean, because
There's
Basket-
two kids from Santa Fe.
basketball is good in Polk County. Because like when I went to Polk, that's what like it was like a big deal that when we would be in the community, we played for Polk. But I
E.
did-
Hayes said, I know most of Arena's people. His daddy included.
Yeah. There's a lot of jokers in Puerto Rico. They be like, I know all the
Man,
Arroyos.
Gilbert Arenas
Boy,
is from Tampa.
stop, man.
Well, I
He
don't know
from
why
Tampa.
had
Does he
it,
claim
man.
Tampa?
I don't know what he claimed. But
I
he from
claim Tampa more than Gilbert Arenas.
I don't know what
Does he claim
but-
Tampa?
I don't know what he claimed, but he's from Tampa. He grew up on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But he moved from here
He
when he was like
claims
11.
California.
Yeah, he was on the West Coast.
Gilbert Arenas.
I don't give a damn what he claimed. Where's he from?
It's like John Henson. John Henson claims Tampa, but
And he ain't from Tampa.
From Texas.
He came here.
He's not from Texas.
Where's he from?
He's a military brat. He's lived
He's from
everywhere.
Texas.
No, dog.
Born and raised
Y'all
in
need to look at
Texas.
where John Henson was born.
Texas.
Okay, let's
He did not live in
let's see,
Texas. all his life.
And I told Stokely we was getting out of here in 1 hour.
Listen,
dude.
Texas.
And look at y'all.
Where's
got me.
Henson from?
Gilbert
Hold on.
Arenas represents
Weezer.
California.
That don't mean he's from there. I represent Televaz. That don't
You
mean
from Televaz?
I was born in
that one
Sarasota.
street. You were born on that one street. You
I was
had your
born in
first kiss.
Sarasota.
You had your first everything on that one street. You're from there.
Hey, listen. I didn't move to Televaz till I was 5.
You're from there.
I grew up in Sarasota.
Same shit.
No, it's not.
You just went to the corner store in Televaz, that one street.
Charles Henson was born in, where did he play college ball?
North Carolina.
Carolina.
Greensboro.
No, this joker said he from Texas.
I thought he was
That's
from
where he
Texas
came
too.
from.
Y'all dead loud and wrong.
I thought he was from I didn't say he was from Texas.
I did.
Come on, Leroy. You on my side.
All right.
He said, yes, sir. I knew them as well.
That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Staley.
All right, let's just go. We gotta go to the top plays before you
This
start.
boy right here.
Usually I have 5 top
Oh, my
plays,
God.
but today I have 29.
Damn.
And I know what y'all. I know
We're
how
going to be
y'all
here
think.
till Tuesday.
I know how y'all think, man.
SCE class
Y'all-
of 26.
I only film the games that I go to, and I was at a whole bunch of skill center games, and my son played for skill center, so this is not a JoJo Phylon highlight film.
Golly.
Let's
I'm
see how.
gonna
Now, I seen
bring
him
the
a couple times.
TikTok
Let's see if-
closer so you can,
let's
so
see
y'all
if my
can see.
squad gets
This
some
is not a
highlights.
JoJo Phylon highlight film, but he did have some highlights, and this is not a skill center elite promotion or highlight film. All right, so
I'd be
Why
mad too,
people
though,
don't
y'all.
like y'all?
with that
people don't
being
like
said,
I don't know. I ain't getting no highlights.
go ahead and go to the highlights.
Why people don't like y'all? To who? Another JoJo. Another follow.
Jason
Hey.
Johnson.
Jason Johnson.
No sound. That was loud. Who we got? Okay.
Okay.
What was that?
Jamarcus Randall, Durant High
Johnson.
School.
Oh,
Okay.
now he missed that, but that's a jumping joker right there.
That is a
I should have
jumping
ran that
joker.
in slow
He
motion.
more athletic than his brother?
Ninth grade.
JoJo the steal.
His brother's
More-
taller. He's only 6'2", dog.
Yeah.
Little block.
JoJo's had 6 plays already out of the
I
7.
saw 7 actually.
Ooh.
Let's make this 8.
Now everybody laughed at that move, but that number 0 that you put the move on, it can go.
Let's make that 9.
Damn.
That kid was a badass though that touched the ground. Yeah,
Yes,
right
he
back
is.
at you. That was a high jumping dude right there. What happened right here?
Give me
That's
that.
good.
No, that's what I thought too. That's a hell of a play. What we got here?
Hold on. I see my team, but I
Look
see.
at his pass.
Okay.
Don't even look.
Okay,
They
no
just,
look.
They just know where each
Who
other
is this
are.
guy with the
Junior
floater?
Royal.
I
They,
like
they
that.
just know where they are, man. It was very impressive. They get us
Friendships makes a better team. Good pass. Watch out now.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Ninth grade.
Y'all had LeBron at the game?
That was
Saw
crazy.
that? That's all the Smitty.
Hey, that was
The
nice.
kiss.
That was Q6.
Yeah, it was QC.
That
Y'all
was
play
nice.
Q6?
Jason Johnson.
Oh!
Damn.
Got kicked out after that?
J. London Bivens.
Oh, damn.
Y'all play Q6?
Yeah.
Y'all beat him up?
Nah, they
it's a
actually played
tough
pretty
game.
good.
J.
Yeah.
London been done.
Ooh, watch out.
Another JoJo Phylon loop. What happens here?
I'm thinking it's a dunk.
You got ejected.
Oh, my God.
Who did?
JoJo.
Damn.
It's because
Got
you
laid coast to coast.
Stop the ball, y'all. Hey.
Loop to Jason Johnson.
How many people got kicked out? Ooh.
Just Tasha and JoJo.
Just the pylons.
Off the backboard.
How did mama get kicked out?
Just the pylons.
Not me. I didn't get a tag. I didn't get nothing this weekend. I wasn't saying nothing.
Gosh, she got put out too?
That's a good move right there.
Good footwork. Good footwork.
Oh, your wife get put out, dog. Did Jersey get put out?
Baseline.
Hey.
Chris, I see how you used to flunk out of school. Bro. You ain't got no kind of attention.
No guy.
Jay London with another dunk.
Damn, I thought that was Jason Johnson.
Hey, I flunked out because I was always out of the class. I never go to class.
All right, so that's what we have, man.
Hey, look at Willie. Nah, Willie, we gave you props. That you heard your boy Chris talking about y'all whooped that ass.
No, I did not.
You did. Run the tape back, Willie.
I didn't
Run
say
the
about
tape back. That's what he said.
Hey, Willie got a good group, though. Like,
Hey, Willie, come on, man. You know I ain't gonna say nothing like that, man.
Hey, don't worry about it. When I got into it with that 6'9" dude, I turned the corner, I seen Willie. I said, Willie, they on my ass over here. I need you, dog.
Nah, I love what Willie doing, man. He coach hard, man.
Yes, he does.
I need him to coach JoJo ass.
Yes, he does. That's one thing he does.
Run that shit back when man comes from baseball.
We love to, man.
Hey,
once JT get his legs on there.
Hey, we'll put a barbecue together.
Yeah.
Come down here. It'll be a
bring your
fundraiser.
teams, man.
Barbecue.
Bring
9th
your
grade to
teams,
11th
man.
grade. Willie
Yeah.
Q6 versus SCE. Come on down,
Yeah,
dog.
we ain't had no Mean Gene in a while, huh, Willie? I'm gonna get you some Mean Gene barbecue.
Yeah, we'll have me and
Adonis-
Gene come over here.
Adonis played for him. That's right. Hey, Willie, come on, man. You ain't have to tell me you was in town either. Don't even worry about it, dog. Boy, that's a joke. He and Josh, huh?
Hey, Willie, Willie, I see you get into it with the Ball by Design coach, man. That might have been a 5-second call, though, bro. I ain't saying y'all still would have probably won, but that was 5 seconds.
Hey, them jokes, I didn't even know they was in town, dog.
Perry was finna beat up the ref. Perry threatened the ref. I said, Perry, what you got going on?
True story. This is no joke. We go to Atlanta.
Uh-oh.
I got you. I'll make it quick. We go to Atlanta. Tyson playing with Q6. Joke in the crowd talking. He running.
I was there.
When he was running, dude was running his mouth.
That's the first time I met Willie. I said, yo, who you got Tyson playing with?
Hey, Josh Perry goes into the stands and sits behind the dude that's running his mouth.
Yep.
Then it was like, Josh goes and sits behind the dude that's running his mouth. I said, oh, damn. He looked like, what the hell about it? Hey, Josh was like, look, he gonna move, I'm gonna knock his ass out next time he say something.
That's my dude.
He said, I'm gonna knock his ass out next time he say something. And he sat right, like he was sitting, you know how you lean back in your girl lap? Yeah. He sat right behind her like this. I said, boy.
The crazy part.
Hey, look, I ain't have to go to no more trips. I was
believe
good.
him.
I already,
I believe him.
I see you, he said he's about to kick one of our parents. I know who had the blue hat on, Willie. I saw it later. I was like, oh, Lord, man. He's a good dude, man.
Leave him alone.
I see Eric Daly watching. His kids representing out there at UCLA. Chris
my roommate, boy. You going to class? Nah, dog, take notes for me. You going to class? Nah, dog, I got you today.
You know what I would have said? If you take them notes, so you're going to be ironing his toenails and clipping his
Man, stop playing,
clipping
dog.
his toenails and ironing his drawers. All right, Stokely, take us out, man.
Look at Willie. He's still tell him I'll be in Tampa.
Oh, man, that's a good...
Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it real about youth sports, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now,